Okay, so I've got 5 books I'm going to be submitting to CGC for the 1975 and prior. One's right on the cusp. I probably could have get away with modern, but I want to put it in there anyway. If you want to see what I'm going to be showing, stick around. Okay, I am sure that actually came across as corny. I don't care. That's fine with me. I have a book here that I'm going to be talking about, opening up as I'm talking, thankfully. How's everybody going? It's Saturday night. Thursday, I got my first COVID shot, and please, no political, you shouldn't do that, whatever. Personally, I don't believe that the COVID shots are, I don't think any shot that is rushed through the FDA is proven as safe, and I got a feeling that in 5 years you're going to be hearing people saying online, law offices, if you got the COVID vaccine from Pfizer in 2021, you may be entitled to compensation. Have you grown a third eye? I mean, who knows? I mean, drugs got to go through normal testing. During the normal channels, and are not rushed into production, are constantly being called back, and lawsuits and everything else. I mean, I just, I'm not against vaccinations. First off, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. People ask me, well, what about the polio vaccine? Well, the polio vaccine's got 80 years of trial and error, testing behind it. It's got a documented history. It's not, hey, we did this in the last 15 days, and we don't know what it's going to do in 5 years, but right now it's good. So, anyway, though, I did get it on Thursday, and Friday I was feeling kind of achy, granted. Now, just to be clear, I did have COVID back in September, so I don't know which strain I had. I just know that I had it. I tested positive, and I was very, very sick. So, Thursday I got the vaccine. Friday I was feeling achy. Friday afternoon, now I'm in Georgia and it's chilly here, okay? It's not cold like up north, but it's cold. I was just walking to go get the mail when I got home, and I mean, I was so cold being in the 50s. I was so cold, I was not shivering, I was convulsing. I couldn't stop myself, and all night long was some of the worst body aches, the worst changes from profuse sweating to freezing cold to profuse sweating all night long. It was very similar to what I had when I had COVID, but much worse and much more condensed. And I was actually, honestly, I was very worried about it, but I survived. Yay. And I picked up, I did receive one book, and I'm going to add it to 4 other books, and this one is going to be on the picture because this is going to be a big shout out to Reggie. Reggie collects. Yay. Finally got myself a copy of Spider-Man 110. First appearance of the Gibbon. And hopefully I'm going to get this graded and slabbed and, consider myself part of the Gibbon gang. And if you're not watching Reggie Collects, you really do need to. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 non-color break ticks. I've got a crease here. Looks like this book has been pressed, but I think it could get a better press than this. The pages are pretty white. I got to give it that. Back cover it's got a tear. That's going to kill it. Well, I mean, before I saw this tear here, which is about a 1/2 inch long, right here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that or not. I'll see what I can do. Dangle. No, you're not going to be able to see it. It's right here. Before I saw that, I thought this could be an 8.5 candidate, 8.0 candidate, but with that tear, 6 to 6.5 is, I think, the best that this is going to get. If it was a smaller tear, if it was down under a 1/4 inch, I'd have a chance, but this is a full 1/2 inch long. Oh, well. But still, I want to get it slabbed, because not only is this the first appearance of the Gibbon, but this was actually the last story that Stan Lee wrote. After this, he went on to assuming all the the editor-in-chief work, and he didn't write any stories after that. That was the very, very last one. So next on the hit parade is I have a CBCS certified book, and this is one of those ones that you could get done at the show. They put it in a bag and a board with the holographic stickers, and they call it a 3.0, and from what I see, I'll probably agree with it because it looks like it's got a tape mark up here, but I want it in a CGC slab. It's Submariner number 1. And you can see, like I said, what I was talking about right up here, this dark discoloration. When I get it out of here, I'll get a better look at it. I don't think anything's going to be able to get cleaned out of it, but I would much rather have this book in a 3.0 slab than in this with these stickers that I've heard you can remove by with steam. The next book up it's in pretty good shape. I'm going to call it an 8.0. Is Marvel Chillers number 1 featuring Mordred the Mystic. And if I'm not was this the first appearance of Cthulhu? I remember this is one of the spec books I bought during WandaVision. It's in nice condition. So I'm going to hope for like an 8 on this one. Yes, this one is a 1975 book. So theoretically, I could get away with sending it in with a modern submission. Because the, what is it called, Standard, which is pre-1975? It says pre to 1975, and then modern is 1975 to present. So theoretically, 1975 falls into both categories. That being the case, I don't have a modern submission that I'm going to be sending in anytime soon. I would like to get this one slabbed, and I'm only going with 5 books, so I'm just going to go with that one. Next is my Hulk 107. Now, this one I picked up at the Atlanta Comic Convention. Not to be confused with the Atlanta Comic Con. The Comic Convention is supposed to be quarterly, and I actually haven't seen one since this. But this is in beautiful condition. This is a nice, beautiful Hulk 107. And I'm hoping for at least a 9.0 on this. And to get anything with a 9 on a 12-cent main character book would really, really make me happy. Next book, and the last book, and this is not going to be a high grade. It's maybe a 6 to 6.5. But it is the first appearance of Agatha. Because it was Agatha all along. It's Fantastic Four number 94, first appearance of Agatha Harkness. And I'm going to send these off, and you didn't see that. The books that, even though CGC is opening right away, their lead times, their turnaround times still say 141 days, 116 days. So just because if you send in a submission and it immediately gets open and entered into the system, don't think you're getting it back in 3 weeks. If you do, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Okay. I just don't want people to get their hopes up. The one great thing about it, though, is that you know that your books have been received, unlike my Stan Lee book. I'll never see it again. It's in somebody's personal collection by now, I'm sure. So one other piece of advice that I'd like to give is that this is actually a really, really good time to look to buy comics. And for 2 reasons. One, the market it's not diving, but it's softening a little bit. We've got the Spider-Man movie coming out. And next spring, next year is where everything is going to be rehyped again. Trailers are going to start coming out and everything. But right now it's Spider-Man. And we've had a couple of movies that did not perform as well as the studios had hoped. Venom did decent. Shang-Chi, I think, did decent. Black Widow definitely underperformed for what they were hoping for. It would have helped, I think, that if Black Widow and Venom Let There Be Carnage were good movies. They were adequate. They weren't bad, but they were adequate. They were not the amazing movies that we thought they were going to be. Shang-Chi was better than I thought it was going to be. So I'll give that. I actually watched that again today while I was shivering and sweating. It's a new dance. It's called the COVID. I'm hoping Spider-Man knocks it out of the park. There's a lot of high expectations on this. But in the meantime, though, all the other characters, all the other speculation, and there's a lot of people talking about stuff in the Disney Plus shows and everything, but nothing is really driving any particular books. And if you watch a lot of the prices, they're all kind of dipping a little bit. And that's because, the super hype has calmed down a little bit. The free money the government was giving away almost quarterly. Yeah, here's 1,000, here's 1,000, here's it was like Oprah Winfrey was president. Is dried up. So people are like, dang, I got to go get a job again. I have to pay my bills again. And I'm not getting free money to go buy comic books. I think that drove the prices up a lot. And the other thing is that there are a lot of people, they bought their books hoping it would go up, and they're jumping out of the hobby. Okay, or they're not. They're not jumping out of the hobby. They've seen that their books have peaked. They think that this is going to be a good time to sell, and they're trying to sell, but as a result, supply and demand is shifting, so the prices are coming down. And there's also, this is a time right before Thanksgiving where people are trying to sell their books to get money for Black Friday, to get money for Christmas presents. They bought books for $100, they're selling it for $200. Okay, I'll take $180, it's still a profit. Okay, I'll take $160, it's still a profit, but I got to buy my dad the new TV or whatever. My mom needs a new phone. My wife needs a diamond ring. Whatever. This is the time of year where people are trying to get money. So a lot of people are selling comics. So if you're not somebody that's trying to sell to get money for presents, this is a good time to buy. Conversely, right after Christmas is usually not the best time to buy, because a lot of kids get their grandparent money and, Christmas bonuses. And, they get a little bit of an influx of cash. And then at the end of January to the beginning of February, people are already starting to receive their income tax refunds and throwing that. And it's an influx of cash. So this is a good time to buy. And January, February, March is a good time to sell. But if you're just looking to buy, I would recommend looking for Silver Age books right now. You can't go wrong with Silver and Golden Age books. I actually have a couple of golden, they're late golden, early silver, Superman action comics and Batman, but none of them are really worth grading. They're 2.5s at best. I got a Hulk 182 that is a 1.5 at best. It has a Marvel value stamp, but it's not worth grading. And it's a shame. I've got to get some more older books to make me feel better, because that is my end game. Haha. And but a lot of these books are really cool to have, and but the ones that really knock my socks off are the Doctor Strange 169, the Fantastic Four #9, the Spotlight, first appearance of Ghost Rider, first appearance of Mary Jane Watson. These are the ones that I'm like, oh man, I love them. Okay, they make me feel like I'm tingling when I see them. First appearance of Yelena Belova in Inhumans. Okay, that to me is, someday I can sell that and that and that and that and buy another one of these. I'd like to see these books appreciate in value so I could sell them, but not to make my bank account big, to make my comic collection better. And if you're doing it for your for your bank account, that's your business. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If you're doing it for just, I want to collect every single book in the world and make a giant stack when I die, and I'll be put on top of it, and they'll make a funeral pyre for me, and I'll look like the guy standing on top of the big giant stash of cash in The Dark Knight when he lights that on fire. That's your business. It's your money. It's your books. You're the one that's got to have fun with it. You're the one that's got to enjoy it. And don't let anybody tell you what to do with your stuff. I only try to give some simple little advice to, maybe correct some of the things that I've done wrong so other people can learn from them. You want to see things that I've done wrong? Go way back and look at my first submission, or even worse, go look at my first trial and error with heat pressing a book. Oops, kind of melted that one. But if I can show somebody else what not to do, it's worth it, because we are one big family. I want to thank everybody for joining me. I see the comments on Wednesday's New Comic Book Day, so I can video, so I can give away a book. And next Wednesday is going to be the day before Thanksgiving. I might throw 2 books in there. We'll see how it goes. Because, it is Thanksgiving. It's coming closer to the holidays. And I'm just looking forward to, building a bigger family and having a lot of fun. I love all the comments you guys leave. Thanks again. And I'll see you guys probably in the middle of next week. And definitely on Wednesday if I don't see you sooner. But until such time, I'm out.